What's good, YouTube? So, I haven't dropped a YouTube video in a very long time. I feel like it's been a couple years. I think the last time I might have dropped a YouTube video maybe it was around the time Kobe Bryant passed away. So that's literally 4 years ago. Um, I'm literally just doing this video to send my condolences to Akira Toriyama's family and just thank Akira Toriyama personally for everything you did for my life. Um, I just I can't really imagine a world where Dragon Ball never existed because I don't know where I would be without the series of Dragon Ball. All of my favorite childhood memories growing up dealt with Dragon Ball, from the video games to the anime to just the the things that were created because of Dragon Ball, whether different YouTubers came out because of their love of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Abridged. I just can't imagine a world. And I think a lot of us, when you think about it, you can't really imagine a world without Dragon Ball, or the series of Dragon Ball that was made from Akira Toriyama. And people, a lot of people don't understand. Akira Toriyama didn't even need to make the series of Dragon Ball. He was well off before that. He had made Dr. Slump, and he was already self-made. He was self-made by his early 30s, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to create the series of Dragon Ball," and it just took off from there. When you try to think of the world of anime and manga without Dragon Ball, it's like trying to think of a world of the NBA without Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson. Trying to think of the world of the NFL without Tom Brady, without Lawrence Taylor, Deion Sanders. You can't do it, is my point. And when I got the news last night, originally one of my good friends had called me, but I was busy at work, so I said I have to call you back. So then I just hopped on Instagram and I saw it. And I just thought to myself, oh, no, this can't be real. And the scariest part to me was that Akira Toriyama was only 68. And I know to a lot of young people, you're sitting here saying, oh, 68's old as hell. No, it's not. 68 is still very young. I don't even think he met like the life expectancy of an average person. And it's just so sad to me, because someone like him, you would think that Toriyama would just live forever. I thought, because, I'm 26. So I thought one day when I'm in like my mid 40s, I get the news of Akira Toriyama passing away, and like I get emotional, and my kids walk in like, "Daddy, why are you crying?" And I tell them, you know, somebody who had a big influence on my childhood is gone. And I just can't really fathom it. I just love the series so much. Everything that characters such as Goku. I was a Goku fan growing up, and then after Super and just becoming an adult, I became more of a Vegeta fan. I just really sit here and think to myself how hyped, even to this day, I get about the series. If any of y'all who read the Dragon Ball Super manga, it comes out every month, the 20th of every month. I believe they release at like around 11 a.m. exactly Eastern time every month for me. I read it as soon as it drops. Every chapter, as soon as it drops, I read it. When I know for those watching, the most recent, as the time this video dropped, the most recent chapter was obviously the beginning of the sparring session between Super Saiyan Beast Gohan and Ultra Instinct Goku. And I just remember being online, seeing how many fans of the series were so hyped, so happy for that to happen. And then to see this, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I'm really sad about it. Selfishly, I'm also thinking, what happens to the series now? Does Toriyama want to go and finish it himself now? Did him and Toriyama have talks about if something were to happen to him, what he would want the series, what he would want to happen to the series, how he would want it to end? People still are wondering, how are they going to incorporate the end of Z into Dragon Ball Super? And the timelines are starting to, merge, or we're starting to not merge, but it's starting to come to that point where the Super is close to the end of Z. And the end of Z took place 10 years after the defeat of Majin Buu, and it was stated that Super is coming close to that time. So what happens? And now will always be, unless Toritaro comes out and says it himself, and even then, you know how people are with conspiracy theories and stuff like that. People will say, "Oh, is this how Toriyama would have wanted it? Is this how he would have did it?" I even saw people on Discord saying stuff like that. You know, whatever happens now in Dragon Ball Super will be fan fiction. I can't necessarily say I agree with that because, as I said, we don't know what the talks that Toritaro and Toriyama had were. Toriyama was a very private person. If you did any research about him, he didn't even leave his house. So it's very likely that he was talking to Toritaro, but we don't know. We don't know what will happen if they even want to continue the series without him. But it's just so sad. I have vivid memory of me being a child having dreams going Super Saiyan, charging up a spirit bomb, doing a Kamehameha wave. Remember Christmas, second grade year, I asked my parents for a PlayStation 2 because I saw a commercial at like 2 in the morning. I was up and I saw a commercial for Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. And I said, "Ma, I want this game. I want this game." And my parents got me a PS2. They got me a GameCube. They got me Tenkaichi. I got Budokai. I played every single one of those games. I remember coming home from school when I was a kid, like I'm talking like before kindergarten, and before I guess when they moved DBZ strictly to Tanami when it was still coming on regular Cartoon Network, watching Goku and Piccolo versus Raditz and saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool," and just my whole childhood, man, to taking a break from the series. Well, not really taking a break, but you know, Dragon Ball Z had already came to its conclusion by the time I was a kid. So when I was in high school, that's when Super came out. One of my close friends had put me on Super, and I was first saw it, and I was just like, I'm not really rocking with this. Like, I don't really know, maybe it feels like cash grab. But I gave it a chance, and as it went on, obviously series, whatever, had its issues, but I started to enjoy it more and more, and it gave me that feel again. Then when Super's anime ended, I said, "Oh man, I guess I just gotta read the manga now." So I started reading the manga from the beginning to the most recent chapter that dropped. I read Super's manga, as I said, every month it drops. It drops once a month, and it kills me sometimes that it takes that long to drop, especially because it's at towards the end of the month. So it sometimes feels like it takes about 2 months for it to drop. And just still how hype it will get me to this day when they introduced Black Frieza, when they had teased or brought Super Saiyan Blue, not Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Beast, Gohan to Beerus' planet, to train with Goku or to spar with Goku. And so many people I know growing up, even if you weren't the biggest Dragon Ball fan, you had to acknowledge what it did for the culture of anime. As I said, if you're a basketball fan, try to think of the NBA without Michael Jordan. If you're a football fan or American football fan, try to think of the NFL without Tom Brady. If you're a real football fan, excuse me, in the States, whatever soccer fan, whatever you want to call it, try to think of soccer without Pele or without Messi, Ronaldo. That's what Toriyama is to anime and manga. I was reading Kishimoto and Oda's, Kishimoto being the creator of Naruto, Oda being the creator of One Piece. I was reading their statements that they released after his death. Kishimoto was literally calling that man sensei. Oda literally said that his existence was like a big tree. Togashi, the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, said that he was like a god. Just reading all of this stuff that his peers are saying about him, it just made me even more sad because it's a void that will never be filled. Um, so once again, I just want to thank Toriyama. The first time I went on an out of state trip by myself was for a Dragon Ball convention. I went to Kamehacon in 2018, I believe it was. That was the first time I ever went on a vacation by myself. I went to Dallas, Texas, young. I just love Dragon Ball, and I would just wanted to meet people who also love Dragon Ball. So his existence, it's hard to imagine my existence without Toriyama's existence, and that's crazy because I'm a young black man from Baltimore. and he is all the way from Japan, years apart. Never met him. Never even been in the same state as him. Because I don't even know if Toriyama's ever even been to the U.S. Like I said, he didn't leave the house. So it's just scary to think about. As I said, with him being how young he was, 68. Both my parents are older than 68. So it was also a learning lesson to me. A learning lesson to me. Just hug your loved ones. Answer the phone whenever you can. Try not to stay mad at them for too long. Just continue to be a loving person and live how Goku did. You know, train, eat, sleep. Always look for the next challenge. Never be satisfied. Goku is never satisfied. Goku always knows that there is someone out there stronger than him. And what does he do? He doesn't say, "Oh well, I'll never surpass them. Oh well, time to fight them to see how close the gap is and see what I have to do next." Be like Vegeta. You know, never think about what you did in your past and how many people you hurt. Just think of how many people you can help in your future. Be like Gohan. You know, certain people around you might live a certain life, but do what you want to do. If you want to be a scholar, do that. Don't subject yourself to something you don't want to be. Do what you want to do. So that's all I can say. Toriyama, thank you for everything, for just existing, because your existence helped create all of our existence. You don't even know it. So I want to thank you for everything you have accomplished, everything you have created, and you know, hopefully we all get to see you on the other side at the check-in station. All right, YouTube, iOS, I'm out.